Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
You can start your camera so we can see you, but please mute yourself at least at the beginning so we can have a lovely discussion and a lovely panel. Thank you all for coming from my personal name, the Duarte platform, and the Actors Home. And Lucy is here, Lucy Lennox. So we are going to have a wonderful conversation. Just waiting a little bit more to everybody to connect. A big hello to the guys from Albania, because Croatia had a football match now and we played against Albania, so big hello to those guys. Sunay. I hope you're all feeling well, and few more people are connecting. Yes. Okay, so I will gently start. I would like to thank you all for coming to this Building Bridges in Film with a casting director, Lucy Lennox. Welcome, Lucy, and a real and big honest thank you from my side for doing this, because it means a lot. For me, it means a lot for Duarte platform and all the filmmakers and especially actors from the Balkan region. So thank you once again. Thank you, the Actors Home. And I would like also to present our guests and then to give the word to Lucy. So Jovana Stevic is here with us.
Now, hello, and thank you for coming. And I'm based in Belgrade, so I'm just saying hi.
Petra Vukalic is here. She's from Croatia, but now in London.
Hi, everybody. Welcome.
Then Dominic Dolens is here. He is from Croatia, and I hope in Croatia.
Hello, everybody. I am in Croatia, and lovely to see you all here. I hope we have a lovely chat.
Then Luka Alagic is here with us, also a Croatian actor.
Hi, guys. Thanks for coming.
Okay, so I would like to give now the word to Lucy. I think that there is no need to represent you more and talk more about all the things wonderful that you did, but I really have to say that you're one of the most amazing casting directors that I've met till now. So I've been on your workshop that Petra organized in Zagreb. I was on your panel that Jovana organized in Belgrade. So it's really, really every single time I learn something new, and it's really, really inspiring. So now I will shut my mouth and I give the word to you.
Oh, that's so nice of you. I learn something new every time I speak to you as well, Sanya, and to Petra and to Dominic. And I mean, I love doing things like this because and from Giovanna, I learn even more because I learn about Japanese films and Serbian films and all kinds of things. And I think that's the nice thing about working in our industry, is that we're always learning. I think when you're finding it difficult, or when you're thinking, oh shit, this is so complicated, our film industry, think, oh, I'm lucky, I'm an actor or a filmmaker, I'm always learning. And that means that you guys are so much more prepared for this time in the world than other people. One of the things I'm saying a lot to actors at the moment is to remember, the world really needs story at the moment. And we talk about storytelling a lot in marketing, in news, in philosophy. And you guys are the only profession that is trained to tell other people's stories. And it's to really celebrate that. And then I like doing things like this. I like meeting actors. I think most casting directors actually do. What we don't like is meeting needy actors. And that's why sometimes there's a confusion and people think, oh, casting directors don't like actors because she wasn't nice to me at this event, or you know, they didn't want to talk to me, or I sent her an email or him an email and they didn't reply. And you just have to, actors all over the world, remember that if you're going up to somebody and speaking to them for 10 minutes and you don't draw a breath and you're just talking about your show reel, then they aren't going to like you, because it's not an artist meeting another artist or a storyteller meeting another storyteller. It's a needy person looking for a job speaking to somebody who can't give them a job. You know, and it's a really different thing. So it's, remember when you're meeting casting directors, that it's about being you, about being authentically you, and then you'll make the relationships that you want to make. Remember also that casting directors don't give you the job, they just put you forward. So you have to give them the information to put forward. And it's also about, and I suppose this is where I'm going in before I ask Sonia, because she has prepared questions, which is a good thing, and everybody has things to say. I think my biggest thing about being an actor, a Balkan actor, is that you're great, you're so trained, you're so talented, you look amazing, you're friendly, you have great things going on in the Balkans. You know, there's a great tradition of filmmaking. So be very proud of that and put that forward. Don't ever, you know, what I find is sometimes the actors tend to focus on the lack rather than the abundance. And when you do that, the industry stops trusting you, because think a little bit in Hollywood, everybody in Hollywood thinks that they're amazing and brilliant, even when they're not. But that's how they've got so far. You know, like I've never worked on an American production that hasn't been the best. Whatever it was, they're the best. And I've never worked in a European production where they haven't complained about not having enough money, or that they aren't this or they aren't that. And quite often it could be exactly the same. So it's about trying to just be as positive as possible about you, because when you're asking people to trust you, you have to look like you trust yourself. And that a lot of the time in our culture, I'm Irish, so I have a similar culture to like Eastern European in some ways, that we're always putting ourselves down in a different way. And if we're going too overconfident, people don't like it. So you have to find this gentle balance in the film, that you come across as self-confident, but not like a American self-confident. Sorry if anybody's half American here, but it's a very different way. And you have to adjust. Like when I'm working, I have to really adjust when I'm working for American producers, because if I express any doubt in my ability, or if I'm seen to be thinking, they see that as a weakness. Whereas if I'm too over the top when I'm working with a European director, then they think that I'm arrogant and I'm not going to make enough effort. So it's about what the word that I call reading the room. Like really try to read the room, try to know about the different cultures. You know, people like Petra who lives, you know, in London, or, you know, when you work, it's different, but it's adjusting, but not adjusting you. So it's complicated. You have to do you. And then the other thing, and that's one of the reasons that I've set up the Actors Home, and lovely to see so many of our members here and stuff, is because if we can work together, we can elevate ourselves together. The more that we work to say, oh, you know, we have here, oh, you know, Tino is a great actor, or oh, Sylvie is a great actor. The more that you speak and celebrate other people's work in your region, the better. You know, for those of you who, you know, for the Bulgarians who are here, you know, when I did a talk in Bulgaria, you know, I'm talking about breakout stars from Bulgaria. And the more that you celebrate the stars that come from your region and from your countries or from ever, the more likely it is that you'll get more work. It's the same in Spain. One of the things that we were talking about is like, why is Spain being really successful? Spain is successful because we had breakout stars. And I was talking to a producer yesterday that I'm working for, and I was saying that I will help another casting director in Spain, even if they're my competition, if there's a problem, because I want America or Britain or Germany to think that when they come to Spain, the casting is amazing. And that's what you want. You want people to, when they come to Serbia, they think the Serbian actors are amazing, or when they go to Croatia or Romania or Bulgaria or Macedonia or wherever, the more you celebrate the talent from your own countries. And then the other thing is that every actor I meet says they want an international career. It's not international. You just want a better paid job, or you want more work. So the easiest way to have an international career is to be in the award-winning film, whether it's a short or a feature film from your own region, because that will get you the international recognition. Whereas if you start off trying to just get a role in any international production, it's a very long climb from being soldier number 5 to being the lead, if that makes sense. So that's
Yes,
a summary.
course.
But mainly I'm just happy to be here. I find it an enormous privilege to talk to people, and I really like, you know, the people who are on the panel with me, and I'm very happy to see so many familiar faces. And I think that it's important to talk, it's important to ask questions. We'll have a lot of time at the end for a Q&A. And it's just great. And it's great to use this technology to connect, to know each other, and to swap ideas. So
Yeah, I just wanted to say that feel free to drop any questions that you have in a chat, or just raise your hands if it's on the topic particularly and you want to ask a question about that. And now you touched into the themes that I wanted to open up. So let's start from the beginning. So you said that you wanted to bring forward the Spanish talent, like I wanted to bring forward the Croatian talent. And I'm always saying we have amazing actors, just give us the possibility. So yeah, also my goal was with Duarte to build a better visibility and better, I don't know, some of the technical issues for them to be more visible, and then better in projects. So can you remember a few years before in Spain? Since now last year Spain is really booming with the TV series and with great films with great actors. I know for sure that it was the same, that you had great actors at the beginning before those that booming happened. But can you particularly name few things that you think that made Spain so popular these days in the film industry?
I mean, in international film industry, it's a lot of different things. It's to do with, from the actor's point of view, it's like we had the people who were just individuals who ended up going to Hollywood, like Penelope Cruz, Antonio Banderas, and Javier Bardem, and then them coming back and, you know, promoting and wanting to work with their friends. And so that was one thing. They didn't suddenly go, I'm not Spanish anymore. And they're successful because they have very strong Spanish identities. Then we have a strong filmmaking, like in, you know, the Balkans. There's studios that were, well, or locations more, because we did spaghetti westerns here, you know, in the time. And then this is the thing that's the not glamorous side of filmmaking. We had very good tax breaks. And that's what you always have to remember, guys, that even though you're artists, you have to put the pressure on your governments or talk about it. And the more pressure that you can do to make sure that people are aware, I mean, and usually it's producers who do it, but I think actors can support producers, and also actors can be producers, but it's just to make sure that, to know that to get foreign films, and, you know, in Serbia, they have very good tax rebates. I think Croatia's just brought one in. Bulgaria, the Balkan region, the one that they were telling me about, the new one for co-production, which they launched at the Sofia meetings, that is going to change lots of your lives, being really honest. But it's just being aware of those things and being ready for the moment when it comes. So, you know, I've been talking, you know, I've been offered a couple of jobs by Greek producers recently, because they're saying, oh, you know, we're going to be able to shoot and do co-productions with Bulgaria and with Greece and with Spain or somewhere like this. And then, you know, they're looking for people like me who know talent across the region. So it's about making sure that you're very visible, as you guys. And then Spain, I think it's a combination. And then we have some quite good film schools, which is where you have in common, so that the technicians are very good.
Mm-hmm.
When you have good technicians available, you have, you know, cheap cost of living, which is slightly better for you guys even than Spain, but Spain is still cheaper than shooting in the UK, and a very healthy tax break. But it's mainly, this is the annoying part, it's quite often mainly the money that will bring things. And then in our own terms of Spain, it was quite, they were just lucky that there were people ready to do the things that you can't really tell, like the Netflix series that came out, like for Money Heist. I don't know if anybody knows about Money Heist. And that has actors from your region, like Luca Peros and Darko Peric, and they've done extremely well. They were based here already. And there's another one as well he's from Ukraine. But those series, nobody could predict how popular they became. It's a bit like this, Turkey, the series from Turkey are killing it all over the world. So it's just about getting a series that has good directing, good acting, but has a universal theme. And they suddenly, if they go, whatever the word is for series, that launches spin-offs, that gives people confidence in it. And we were lucky at the time when Netflix wanted to expand, they chose Spain as one of the regions to expand. They chose Spain, Germany, Italy as one of their three major international ones. And I have a feeling that probably they will choose, if they do another thing, they might choose somewhere like, Bulgaria or Netflix. The streamers are changing now. You're also in a very, very, very good situation because in America, they've gone off at the moment doing the 200 million films, and they want, in theory, hopefully on the Actors Home, the expert from Variety is going to come this month to talk about the state of the industry. So I'm going to learn then. But what I've read between the lines is that they're going to make a lot more 20 million films, and that is perfect for every single person here, because I'm much more likely to work on a 20 million film, as is Sanya, or than to work on a 200 million, which is when they just want Brad Pitt and, well, not Angelina Jolie with Brad Pitt, that's not gonna happen, but they want the A-listers. But when you want a 20 million film, that's where you want a European star. And because a European star doesn't get paid $1 million a week. So,
but when we speak about the visibility, that's always something that we always say, be visible. But of course, we can do it. That's why Duart platform exists. That's why the Actors Home exists as a community of reinforcing actors. But what else should we do as actors? Is that sending emails? Is that sending newsletters? For example, I have a few actors that are sending me monthly a newsletter saying, "Hi, I'm doing this, this, and this. These are the news from my side," and that's, for me, from my perspective, great. But what else can we do to really be visible, as we always say?
I think it's a different, and it depends on, because you're talking about two things, Sanya. One is like talking about the relationship with casting directors, and that's where you have to find out, like, I cannot stand newsletters. I think they're absolutely sent to torture me because they're usually boring. Like if you send a really interesting newsletter, that's fine, but they're boring and they're usually telling me about stuff that I already know. I haven't signed into this newsletter, but I feel that I can't sign out because I feel if John sends me a newsletter and then I put, I don't want it, then John feels insulted because he will see, because I know how newsletters work. And they're not offering me anything. Like I send newsletters occasionally, but when I'm sending a newsletter, I'm offering something. And whereas with the actors, like if they have the news, I prefer it to be more personalized. So, hi, Lucy, just wanted to let you know, this is Dominic. Thank you so much for that advice you gave me. It really helped me. I've just got a lead role in this. Or, hi, I really liked that chat that you had, or something a little bit more personal. But in terms of visibility, I think it's something that I'm working on a lot. It's about using different tools. So it's making sure that your IMDb has a really good bio. It's making sure that you have done a list of all the people whose radar you want to be on. It's making sure that you're going to the industry events. It's most of all, it's making sure that you know which directors you would like to work with. Like, for example, this has happened even this week. 3 or 4 actors I've talked to, and they say, I really want to work in Spain. And I was like, oh, great. Who do you want to work with? And they're like, huh? And I go, name 3 directors that you would like to work with in Spain. And they go, huh? And I go, name 1 director you would like to go work in Spain. And they always go, oh, Almodovar. And I'm like, that is not a valid answer, because Almodóvar is not a Spanish director. He's beyond being Spanish. He's an international director. And so then I'm mean and I say, then you don't want to come and work in Spain. You want to come on holiday to Spain. Because if you don't know the industry, like it's the same, if you say you want to come and work in Spain, but you don't know who directed Money Heist and what they came, and you think you want to work in that series, or you don't know who won the last Goya, then you don't want to work in Spain. You just want to work more than where you're actually living. It's the same as like, you know, and the same for actors is like, you need to know who the younger generation are, like who's winning the awards in your country, who is making things happen in your country, or if you want to make your career as doing the supporting roles, which is also a good role in somewhere like New Bayona, you just have to know who the casting directors are. But then you're going to be going to castings for roles, you know, which are Nazi 1, Nazi 4, which is, or Maid 1, or Eastern European Spy 5, which is totally fine as a way of making a living, but it's usually not part of the actual why of being an actor. Again, I'm not criticizing it, and I will cast films like that as well, but then my why of a casting director is to do other things too. So it's really knowing where you want to be and what kind of story. So in terms of visibility, it's with many different ways, Sanya, in my opinion. One is making sure that your digital, because now it's really easy, that so that your bio is really good, that you have a strategy for social media, that you know who you want to be in touch with. So you know the casting directors on one hand, and then you'll be like, by talking to each other, oh, what does Sanya like? Oh, Sanya likes to have a newsletter. Okay, well, we'll keep in touch with her with a monthly newsletter. Lucy doesn't like a newsletter, so we won't send her a newsletter. But Lucy's very active on social media. So just when she puts a picture of her dog, we'll say, oh, nice dog. And then we know that she'll like us. Nancy Bishop doesn't like newsletters or that, but she has a casting tip for actors every Tuesday.
Yeah,
So,
sometimes I feel that the actors feel like a lot of pressure of that new way of doing all these things, but I think it's like super normal and it's not of being business. And I think that all of those things are doing also actors without with and without any agent. So I just want to emphasize that it's really important what you are now saying, because we are thinking like, oh, how did you get that information? Well, I'm working on it. I'm into it. I'm Googling every day. I'm, you know, following all the hashtags on Instagram and things like that. So I just really wanted to say that completely 100% I'm agreeing with you.
good. And then the other thing that I think is really important for actors to know, it's not so much about you trying to find people. It's about that people can find you when they're looking for you. So it doesn't matter. Like, I would love to cast everybody on this call, and you know, and there's actors that I know very well on this call. There's actors that I put forward for castings on this call. But it's much more important that when I'm looking for a young Balkan actor, that I go and I find you on eTalenta, or if you've got some profile, I find you on IMDb, because we casting directors like looking for people. Like, we can't find you a job, but we can see, but we need to know you. So I might be looking for a young Bulgarian actress, and I'll say anything, and I'll do it. I'll do my search. And then Adelina will come up and I say, oh, that's Adelina. She's from Varna. She's lovely. I love her. Right. She'll go to the next thing. So she needs to be not only that I have to know Adelina, which I do, or it could be any of you, or Mia, or Nina, or whoever. But when you come up, I recognize you. So but you still have to be found, because it's not like I could think, oh, you know, I really like Bea Dodder, but I'm never going to find a role for anybody that I like. But you kind of have to use it like marketing. Like in marketing, the first thing that you have to do is just be on people's radar, and then you keep appearing, and but for the right reasons. And then when you come up on the list on IMDb or eTalenta, or somebody says, I call Sanya, and Sanya, I say, oh, Sanya, I'm doing a job. Can you work with me on this? And she'll say yes. And then she gives me a list of 10 people. And I'll think, oh, I've never heard of this person, or this person doesn't even have a headshot. And oh, there is, there's Nina, me and Adelina. Oh, and I've known them, I've seen them before. And then we trust them. So it's really important, because I think a lot of actors make the mistake thinking that they're job seekers, and that if they could just get to the end of the rainbow, there are all these roles that the industry is hiding from them. Whereas what it is the industry is actively looking for actors the whole time. So you have to be able to be found and not hide from the roles. Like, Sanya?
Exactly. I just wanted to jump in on that point, because I always tell all the actors that are joining Duard's platform that it's not just Duard that is going to bring you job. Is when someone is seeing you on Duard, seeing you on social media, seeing you on the street, reading an interview about you, and then watching something, your performance in a theater, then they will remember you. And then it's all these things that made you more visible and more on their mind. Lucy, I would like to a little bit wrap this theme, and maybe to jump, which is very, very connected, on the importance of connecting and networking, and open up a little bit for our guests the conversation, and maybe to hear from each one of you, from Jovana, Petra, Dominic, and Luca, to hear a little bit how was that for you important, the networking moment, the connecting, the diversity of different as we said now, presence. So please talk a little bit about how did you manage to do all of that, and how did you manage at the end to produce all the things that you actually did. So Jovana, please start.
Hello. I think it's the most important thing to do networking. And I, from 10 years ago, when I started my festival and started acting career, it was the only thing that I did from the scratch, like trying to target some people. I think it's also not to stalk them, but to target them, like to know, as Lucy mentioned, to know who are you interested in, what do you want, and etc. So I think that is how I started. And after I targeted some people, I was talking to them. I was investing also in my career on some level. So if the question is, should I participate or apply to something like to that platforms, to any kind of like international festival, I think it's only I think it's a good investment. It's not that if it's your passion, if it's your job, you have to do that. I think this is my advice. So yeah, it's like just maybe to prioritize what should you can do first and after. So yeah, that was my thing. I think the Duard platform and the Actors Home are like platforms that we should use like every day, and to update it, to be present, to participate. So as you all said already, it's important to be visible. So if I can be short, it's like my experience.
Thank you. Just to mention, because you didn't mention, Jovana has a Serbian-Japanese festival in Serbia, but now she just came back from Japan, where she had also the version in Japan. So was it nice?
Yeah, it was successful. It was nice. I'm now in PR things, yeah, doing all those social media and PR. So it's really busy. Yeah, it's important. Someone asked me, not someone, I think everyone asked me, is this a good thing that you are doing? Like you're investing all those time and money for the festival, for the platforms. And I was like, I think that if I didn't do that, I will not succeed. It's like as I said, the only thing that as I'm running a film festival, I'm going to all the time to visit all small and bigger festivals, and that's how we all met. And then I am trying to include all good programs as Lucy, Sanya, and to do master classes and to how to say that, extend all the knowledge and education that I can also share and give to others. So.
Excellent, thank you. Petra, would you like to share with us your experience about connecting and networking?
Yes, and it is a broad topic, as you all said. We could talk for hours about it, as well as visibility. But what springs to mind immediately, everybody says, like, you have to have a website, you have to have, you know, either be on Spotlight or platforms as Duart, Actors Home, which is true. But as you all mentioned, you have to consistently work on your presence, consistently update your profiles, and then search for the jobs that you want to work, search for the directors, the casting directors. At the same time, as you, Lucy, mentioned, not pester them with like, hi, hello, I have a new haircut. Just be on point, you know what you want, but at the same time, be mindful of other people's time. And, you know, just people talk about making a brand of yourself, but then I think from the actor's perspective, we get all just technical and even a little bit anxious, like, what does it mean? What do I have to do? Do I have to, you know, have a certain look? Do I have to make my Instagram look a certain way? But I think it's basically about, as Lucy mentioned, and as you all mentioned, knowing who you are, and then being true to your core, and then pursuing what you want to pursue. And that's how I started working on my own shows, as well as I'm a founder and director of the Teatro Prima Vista, which was, it's a theater company, but it's not only founded for my eagerness to produce my own work, but also to be able to include others, and also to have an educational part, which is doing the master classes, which I've done with you, Lucy, and with Paul Weber. You know, so it's getting more and more big every year. And what my goal is specifically that networking, connecting people, because as you all said, I think that's the only way that we can succeed, because we need each other. And even the connection between actor and casting director, which actors often forget, is a two-way street. We need casting directors need us. So let's be visible, help them to help us, because it's a collaboration. We're not in war against each other. We don't, yeah. So that's why we need.
I mean, we need you more than you.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, you know, because we can't do our job without you, whereas you can do your job without us. And it's really important to know that.
Which is empowering. And as you said multiple times today, we should be able to feel good about ourselves and just like embrace that power we have, but channelize it into a creative process, and to just like vision what we want and go towards that goal, but not, you know, like without a plan or without a notion of where we want to see ourselves. So yeah, that's like in a nutshell.
Petra is now producing her movie on Academy, right? So can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yes, I'm actually a student again. After years and years in theater and some in films and series and television, I decided to enter MA Acting for Screen at Royal Central School of Speech and Drama, and I'm about to graduate. We have actually a showing, if anybody's in London, we have a showing in BFI London next week of our short film that we did, but also as a part of our graduation, we need to make a short movie. And aside from acting in it, we all have different roles, and my role is producing the film. So the film Snowflakes is going to be shot this summer, and then it's going to be out in autumn, and I'm really, really super excited about it. it's an exciting process, and it gives you a totally different perspective. I was producing stuff in theater, as you, Sanja, know, but this is my first film, so it's very exciting.
So it's your new baby.
Yes.
Newborn.
Mm.
Okay, thank you, Petra, so much for sharing that with us. Dominic, can you share a little bit of your story? I know you as a young student that then graduated the academy and then constantly came to the Duart networking events, and then one day, like, just something opened up in your mind, in your perspective. Can you share a little bit more about your story?
Yes, I think we all share the same goal. We all want to work. We all want to be in this business because we love it, because I love acting, and that's it. Whether it's theater, movies, series, I don't care. I just want to work with good people, people who have a vision and want something to say to the world in the end. And yes, my experience with both Actors Home and Duart were really good. I've been to many networking events in Zagreb, organized by Duart, but also I was in Dublin on the Actors Home launch party. And then after that, I was in Sitges in Actors Home, also networking event with actors, because I was touring around Europe as young people do, like backpacking through Europe. And yeah, that was a great experience. And what I realized that I really am a good networker, but especially between actors, actor to actor, I'm okay. When there's an agent and casting director, then I get a bit anxious. But I realized, because we all have the same problems, the same goals all around Europe, it's basically the same situation, and that's why we have Actors Home. That's why we have the artists community where we can, join our forces and talk about the problems which are really the same. And it's really empowering to hear other people talking about the problems that are the same. When you hear somebody from Ireland or from, I don't know, Romania talking about a problem, and you say, oh, I have that problem too. Oh, look, oh, here's a solution. Oh, great. So from that side, that's really empowering, and I'm learning all the way. And also, I think because during my studying days at the academy, we really didn't talk about film industry. And I realized that there is like this business side of my job as an actor, and then there's this creative side, which should go one along with the other. But then again, you have to know how to balance it, and how to network, how to just open your chances. And yeah, in the end, it's really so many good peoples and friends that you meet along the way, and that's the most beautiful experience that I'm having during the last year, and so that I'm part of Actors Home and Duart platform.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that story. I think that combination of traveling and meeting actors with the Actors Home all around the world, it's an amazing idea. Luca, can you share a little bit more of your story? You were studying in London, but you're from Croatia and then came back to Croatia. How that all came across, and then you started producing your own work, which is great. So,
Hi everyone. I think for me, like, it started at drama school, because our drama school put heavy emphasis on creating your own work and producing your own work and networking. They went with this idea that you can wait until you book a part, or until you land a part, or until your friend gives you a part, or you can actually try to, jump on the head and create something. So the moment we graduated, 15 of us, we created a production company in London. And then through that, in the next 2 years, we did podcasts where we invited casting directors, where we invited writers. From that, we developed a new writing festival. We then sent those shows, plays to the Fringe. And then from there, we gained publicity. When I came back to Croatia, I decided to use that knowledge as a producer and try to produce a short film. And thanks to you and thanks to Duet Platform, I managed to find a director, I managed to find a DOP. You go to a meeting, you pitch your idea, and then you try to collaborate. And then quite soon, one short film led to another. And I'm lucky now to say that, you know, I managed to have like my own small film crew of 25 people. And I would say that maybe I feel like today we do talk about networking and we do talk about the importance of, you know, actors meeting other actors. But in the end, like actors cannot create on their own a short film or a theater play. In a film production, you need a costume department, you need a makeup department, you need electricians, you need gaffers, you need first AD, second AD, you need some PAs, you need somebody who's going to help you with catering. So my idea when I try to connect with people, I actually try to connect with those people from those areas, because I know when I pitch them an idea, and if I have that support, it's so much easier to find actors, because sadly there's so many of us. And I mean, just a couple of days ago, like I was hired as a casting director on a short film. And I put the ad on Duet Platform, and in 2 days we had 80 submissions. So in the end, you know, that short film wouldn't be possible to make if I don't already have a crew of 25 people behind me. And now with that, you know, we have solution to give all those actors possibility of work. So I would say, in a way, that's my story. I just want to be a storyteller by actually telling my stories, my characters, and then see what's going to happen. And in the end, it's really good what Lucy said, you know, having a clear vision. You know, you want to go and work in UK, you need to know 3 directors do you really want to work with. But best idea is to aim at those directors, knowing where you are in the industry at the moment. We always talked about climbing the ladder, and you need to know where you are at that ladder in this moment. And then when all of this is crystal clear to you, like, things can easily happen. So I would say, yeah.
Thank you. You have such a calming voice that was excellent. Well said. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. Now, going back to Lucy, our guest of honor, I would like to ask one particular question. So I know that the language has always been a barrier to come and to play in an international, or let's say American movie. But now these days the market has opened up into inclusiveness, into diversity, into all these famous things and themes that we all hear all around. But can you give some specific advices? How can we move that stigma to be like a Balkan actor, like a Southeastern European actor, and to really be recognized and be considered like an international actor? What can we do?
I just totally agree with what Luca said. And it's just that, it's making work that people want to see. It's like some of the projects I'm reading now are about the Balkans, for example, because people are interested in real stories, and they're real stories. You have such a huge history of story making, and in the same way. So I kind of like, I don't want to give the sort of typical advice about, you know, like you have to be understandable in English, but you also have to be, I'm trying to think how to answer your question properly, because really for me, what Luca said, that is perfect, because he's working. It's like the first question is, why do you want to be an actor? And mainly people want to be an actor to tell their stories. And the first thing I ask actors when I'm talking to them is, what's your why? And then when you go through the why, and then when you discover what your why is in life, everything makes sense. And your why is usually not to be, you know, a featured extra on some big film. It can be fun. Your why, and when we talk about international, I really think that we talk about making films that are relevant and that mean something. And for me, Luca's roadmap is so much more likely to give him a successful career than somebody who goes to voice training over and over again, or Petra's career. Like, Petra produces amazing work that she's happy with. Giovanna travels around the world and is known across the world. You know, when you walk through Cannes with Giovanna, half the world know her, you know, and I'm talking about Japanese famous directors, English, you know, even today, Peter Weber is a, you know, Oscar-winning director who I know, but he sees Giovanna's post on Instagram and he says, oh, that looks interesting because I'm going to be working. So he reposts this, but it's because you're telling stories. So my advice is to think about really your why. What are the kind of stories that you want to tell? Luca, what he said is genius, because of course I'm always telling actors to make their own work, but what I do mean is to find your creative tribe, which is another thing I say, and that does include the directors, the DOPs, the other people. Also, I really believe that the world's changed now, because you can make a film in the most remote village of Macedonia and it can go viral because we don't have to go to see it in a cinema. You know, one of my Spanish actors in the Actors Home made a scene, and it's been seen by 4 million people this month. And it's just a well-shot scene. And I know that that will get her onto the radar. I know that it's not like proper, you know, auteur film directors don't look at social media a lot, but young directors do. Like I'm casting something at the moment, and it's with a world famous director, and he wants young people, and he said, oh, can you show me their Instagrams? And I'm like, okay, we've really got to that point. But you have to look like an actor, not like, you don't need to look like an influencer. It's not about doing TikTok dances. It's about being in the window. So my advice is, if you want to be international, know who it is who's telling your stories, know what your story is that you want to tell, know what your origin story is, and mainly know your why. Like, really ask, why am I an actor? You know, what is it that I want to do? And when that's clear, you do the reverse engineering. Where do I want to be in 5 years' time? And sometimes maybe your why, if your why is that you want to be famous, you know, and live in Hollywood, you might want to become a drug dealer instead because it's easier. I'm joking, like, don't become a drug dealer. But, you know, it's like Hollywood, there's very few people who become A-listers in Hollywood, and they have very different things. But people who have happy actors, the only thing I disagreed with Luca was the ladder thing, because I really believe that an actor is a journey without a destination. So you have to find your joy every day. I agreed with him that you have to know where you are in the industry, because, you know, if you've been in an Oscar-winning film, then from Macedonia or Bulgaria or Serbia or whatever, then you will be invited to parties. Like one of the Actors Home's people, her film went to the Oscars, she got invited to the Oscars. You go to a different universe or a different bubble, and then you should take advantage of that bubble. So if you're in a film that's doing really well, or a short film that's doing well, you can move into different bubbles and take advantage of them. But you could also go back to your original bubble always, you know, which will be your creative tribe, which is what you see, like with the, you know, just because I've studied it, I know a bit more about, you know, Bulgarian actors. So you see somebody like Maria Bakalova. So she is in her national bubble. She's doing well, doing work. Actors know about her. 80 actors, Julian Kostov is friends. He's a very good networker. He's friends with Nancy Bishop. He puts forward all of the Bulgarian actresses for that role. Maria gets the role, but then she wins an Oscar. So then that changes it, because your amount of money that you could get paid when you win an Oscar, it just goes up. But she's still trying to produce stuff and producing stuff in Bulgaria, because she knows that that is her creative tribe as well. And that's where she's going to have fun. So she's balancing doing, you know, big productions, but she's still allowing herself to choose to be in the productions that she wants. So answering your question, Sonia, I think it's about really knowing who you are, knowing what makes you happy, and feeling the power, and really working on your self-confidence and on your networking skills, so that when you walk into a room, you walk in knowing that you're offering something, and knowing the people, so that if you're like Luca, you walk in and you know, oh, I really want to meet some cinematographers. Great, that's interesting. Okay, now I've got a bit more money. I want to meet ones who've done this film, and then I can cast and find the actors that I want. Or Petra, when she's producing a show. She knows it's very easy to find actors. So you just have to be able to be easy to be found and then have your craft at the very top. Dominic is young. He's going around meeting people. But Dominic, you know, I think everybody, for example, the Actors Home is not like Dwight. It's not a casting platform, by the way. It's a networking, and it's about doing these kind of mindset and really working. But Dominic is pretty sure that if there's an actor anywhere in Europe who says, oh, we need a young Eastern European Balkan actor, they go, oh, I bet that lovely Dominic, you know, he's getting onto people's network. And it's just about that. It's meeting people, but mainly more than meeting people, it's making sure that when people are looking for you, they see you and that they can find you and that people say nice things about you. Like, you should want your name to be talked about in rooms that your feet haven't been into yet.
Excellent, excellent advices. I wanted to just jump in on a story about being in another elevated bubble, but also coming back to your bubble. It was a funny story. One of Creation Films, short films, won a Palme d'Or this year in Cannes, and second day the lead actor Goran Bogdan was digging and working something like it was super funny because yeah, he knows who he is, and he will always work on a short movie, always work for a student filmmaker, like always knowing who he is and knowing what he can offer and what the fee can his fee can be for an international movie or for a national movie, for a local production. So I think that in our region we cannot expect, okay, now I won the Palme d'Or and now I'm like a super famous international actor or filmmaker. You always need to come back to your country and dig again there and work a lot. So I think that each one of us went outside but always came back to our countries, and really we are still working very, very hard. I wanted to tack into shortly, as you did, started with talking about the Actors Home, and then talk a little bit more about the Duart platform. But also I wanted to say to all of you that you can start dropping questions so we can have a little bit more time to answer that. Can you, Lucy, then explain a little bit more about the Actors Home, please?
The Actors Home, I'd much prefer if Dominic explained about it, but for me, I'll explain about it anyway. The Actors Home was something I set up during the pandemic. I ran something called Get Inspired that many of you came to, and it was to support actors. And then I realized that actors, when they feel safe, they do their best work. And sometimes you need to feel safe in any group, you need to take a step back. So it's not about being on a casting platform, it's about feeling safe within a community so that you can go out. So we do training. It's also, I'm really passionate about community and about people connecting from different countries. I come from Ireland, I come from a conflicted country. The way we came out of our conflict was by talking, partying, doing stuff together. And I live in Spain and I like traveling, I like meeting people. So the Actors Home is about creating, and we're just getting going. It's only going for a year and a half. We have 67 different nationalities. It's free for refugees. It's free for people who've just had a baby. It offers support from actors to other actors. And it also provides industry knowledge, because I find it's curated by me. I find a lot of actors talk to each other and then they come up with really weird theories, like why aren't they working, or what do you need to do to get on somebody's radar, or things like, oh, I need to do new headshots, I need to spend all my money on headshots because otherwise I can't talk to a casting director. It's like, or my show reel, or I should do a workshop to meet somebody, all this stuff. So I try to kind of keep things very real in the Actors Home, at the same time giving actors a place where they can ask anything that they want. So, oh, is this casting a scam? Like, the moment this week we've published everywhere because somebody was able to tell me. I got approached by these people who were trying to get me to tape with nudity and with sex. And I know about this, but because we have this community, somebody will ask me, I can give it, and then we can publicize it very quickly and hopefully prevent anybody from taping, you know, material that will then be used in a way that you wouldn't want your material to be used. It also connects actors so that if somebody's going to London, they meet up with people, or like Florina, who's just moved to Barcelona, she's meeting up with members of the Actors Home who are based in Barcelona. We have, you know, providing people who are making projects together. We do festival parties, because I found that lots of actors want to go to festivals, but it's really not that much fun to go on your own. You need to have somebody, a festival buddy. So what we do was, we're doing like at Munich next week, you know, a breakfast, introduce everybody, and then you can go off to the industry parties, but at least you have somebody who's got your back. And we do challenges so that we try to get actors to do stuff that then we can put out on the social media. And then the other thing that we're working on a lot is that when you have something as an actor, like you've done a play, or you've done a film, or you've been at a festival, you won an award, if you just post about it yourself, it feels a little bit like, look at me. So what we do, we post about it, and then people can reshare it. So it's called Boost Your Stars. And what I'm trying to do is get everybody to elevate. So if, you know, somebody comes to me and says, like Boris comes and says, oh, I'm going to LA and I need, you know, I'm going to go to some meetings. We'd probably post something about Boris so that if when they go to check him on social media, when they just want to go, oh, Boris, he was in that film that won all those awards in Sofia. Oh, right. Oh, and he speaks French. Oh, and it's just about having, it's why it's called the home, the Actors Home. It's about having a family that's on your side, as opposed to feeling lost and alone.
Great.
And a lot of other things.
Of course. We'll do another Zoom conference just on the Actors Home. Kidding, joking. Yeah, I wanted to say, as you said, so the Actors Home is different. It's not the platform. It's more of a community, as you all mentioned now. And the Duart, it's the platform. I started it in Croatia to be able to get more and have more visibility for all of them to the world, to the Europe, and then of course we spread it and you open up to everyone that wants to join. Duart, then in 2020 we open up that is not just the platform for actors but all the filmmakers, so you can have a possibility, like Luca said, to connect with each other, to connect with different fields and different workers, different filmmakers, but also to have a digital tool that you can easily share your profile, easily download your CV, be ready, be fast into the replying to casting directors or anyone else. And also the third part that is very, very important about the Duart platform, that we build the job posting. So for example, as Luca mentioned this week actually, Luca was working as a casting director, so he posted a job on Duart, and everybody on Duart had the possibility to apply, but apply like easily, like send my profile, hi, my name is Sanja and this is my CV, or you know, something very, very easily. So we can be all faster, and you don't need to think about how your CV should look like, but to have an example, like just questions, and answer those questions and fulfill those gaps. So that's basically the difference and the idea of the Duart platform. I would like to answer some of your questions, so please feel free to drop anything into the chat. I see that you all introduced yourself, so sorry that I wasn't able to read it, but I ran through them. Also, if some of the guests, oh, Jovana, you want to speak?
Yes, just wanted to ask you, is this the first platform that type of that you did, and is this the only now in this region? Because I know that I know just Duart platform, but as we are here all from Croatia and Serbia, I just wanted to ask you, how do you feel about that now, and what's your strategy now? Just briefly, if you can explain. Is this the only one here?
Of course. I mean, between the guests, we are from Serbia and Croatia, but between all the participants, I see familiar faces from Slovenia, Yuri, from Natasha from North Macedonia, Sune Race is here. So we have many people from different countries. Yes, Duart, I would say, unfortunately, is the only one platform in this region. I really looking, and I didn't made it for, you know, make money. I just made it for us to be able and more visible and to be more focused on the not international market, but be on that level, so the international market can easily reach us. So yes, it's the only one, but also many the industry build it up. So few years ago, we didn't have any of the agents, for example, in this region. We had only one in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and that was Zona Agency. So these last few years, the market has opened up. We have now 4 or 5 even acting agencies in the region. So I really think that the Duart platform is going to open up even more, and thanks to the collaborations like this, thanks to the Actors Home, thanks to Lucy. But Lucy I met through Petra and Jovana. So thanks to you and thanks to all of us, we are going to improve things and change the industry. So yeah, I see hands up, so I will wrap it up. Dominic was first.
Yeah, I just wanted to add how I myself improved by being a part of not only Duart platform, but also Actors Home, because on one of the networking events from the Duart platform, Luka Alagic, I spoke with him, and then he told me, you know, as an actor, you always need to see how to improve yourselves or how to learn some skills that are good for you. So that's why I took for the last 2 months, I am learning how to ride a horse. It's not, and then again, regarding Actors Home, in the Actors Home, we always say, if you want to learn a new skill, it has to be fun. It has to be something that you enjoy. Otherwise, don't do it. So that's, you know, those are 2 sides of the coins that made me want to improve, not only in this on like learning new skills, but also in other things. During also on the Actors Home, I seen so many short films from around Europe because we have a film club. I also read some books in the book club. Although I am reading for months, I'm not such a fast reader, but I have read some really interesting things about acting and also networking. So yes, so there are a lot of possibilities opening up in Europe and all around the world that I didn't know of, and I am really happy that I know about those possibilities now. So that's why I think Duart and Actors Home and all this networking is so needed and so important in our business.
Thank you so much. Petra, you're next, and then we switch to the questions from the chat.
Okay, I would just like to circle back a little bit to Duart platform and say that one thing which I think that wasn't mentioned before, and I think it's very important, that not only it's the only platform here, well, to connect regional actors and regional film professionals, but also you were the pioneer in sense of teaching local actors what does an actor need to be seen internationally. For instance, show reels, headshots. This is something that's now like a given. Now everybody knows you're supposed to have a good headshot, a good show reel. But back in the day being like a couple of years ago, so not really in a distant history, people, especially regional actors, didn't have a clue on what does that mean. So you got submissions for international film projects, people sending selfies with their dogs or whatever. And then, of course, they didn't make it to the second round. And then I think you, with Duart platform, basically educated regional actors to know, okay, this is what is expected as like the first thing. And then you go on towards networking, towards profiling yourself, and towards whatever we mentioned before. So it's
Thank you.
thank you
Yes,
for that.
I did for make my job easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Again, it's a two-way
that-
street.
Of course, but I mean, that was really the primary reason. Okay, I'm working as a casting director. I need to show some headshots. We don't have headshots because we used to like call a person and get him a job. So then I said, okay, let's Google who is the best headshot photographer in the US, like an example of the perfect market. I find Peter Hurley. Then I looked who in Croatia knows about Peter Hurley, and the one photographer that knew about him, I said, okay, you got the job. You're going to be our first headshot photographer. So,
Yeah.
but yes, thank you for mentioning that. But that was really made just to make my life easier, and the whole Duart platform was made because, come on, we all know like 5 actors who are 80 in Croatia, but we don't know 20 of them. We don't, those specific things. So my goal was really to bring us all visible, searchable, and to make the work quicker and easier. Okay, I will switch to the questions from the chat. So we have a question from Pavel. Pavel, hi from Bulgaria. Where do we find the appropriate casting directors to get in touch with? I work in VFX and I find the recruiters on LinkedIn. Would that be a good place to look? Lucy, would you like to answer, please?
Yeah, I think it's kind of going back, Pavel, and I've talked about this a lot. It's still about them being able to find you rather than you finding them. But where you find them is you think about who are the people whose stories you want to tell. There's lists as well. It's very easy. It's IMDb. On IMDb, you can look at just casting directors, and if you put in on the Star Meet, if you have the pro or borrow somebody's pro, just put in the job casting director, and every casting director in the world will come up. If you want to look at the European ones, you can go to the website www.the.icda, or you check the credits of the filmmakers who you want to work with. But it's much more important that the ones that you want to work with can work with you. But if you're like Pavel, in your case, you have to be on the radar with the ones who work in Bulgaria, which is 3, plus the ones who work at New Bayona. That's your first place. And then it's just working out, gently, how would they find me? So it's like, oh, now I'm on Sanya's radar, so I'll make sure I'll stay. I already know you, Pavel, so that's okay. You have to just make sure that then if you win an award or something, that I know about it, so that if I'm suddenly looking for somebody who represents something, I will be able to sell you. Remember, casting directors, we don't buy you, we sell you. So you have to give us the tools to be able to sell you. I can't give a job because I'm not the person who decides, I'm just the person who proposes. So if you give me special tools that will help me, and I could say, for the people that I've met here, I know, if I was talking about Petra, I would know how to tell somebody about Petra. If I'm talking about Dominic, or if I'm talking even about, Igor, who I met through Nancy Bishop many years ago, I would say, oh yeah, and Igor, and then he made this very interesting film where he made it himself, but he was Bond in it, and it was great. And then I would use that to put you forward. Or, Daniela has just done, she's one of the people in Romania who made a film with one of the refugees who ended up there, and it was beautiful. And I would know these little bits of information help me to put you guys forward for the job and be that. So that's what I would say. And then if you really just want a list of casting directors, then you just go, you either go to IMDb and you put casting directors, or you go to the Casting Society, which is the one in America, and it's got billions of them, or I'm in that. Or you go to ICDA, and their website is the ICDA, and you go there and you ask to other actors. But remember, it's not like being in LinkedIn, Pavel, that people are recruitment agencies. We're not recruitment agencies. We're employed like private detectives to hunt out and find the right person. I can't
Great.
see Pavel after all that because I've been talking to him like, oh yes, there you are. So, and it's just like, so it's a bit like making sure that when, if, Luca's looking for somebody, because he said he also does casting, that he will know if he's looking for a Bulgarian of your age and your type with your experience, that you will suddenly pop up. Okay. Does that answer your question, Pavel?
Yeah, makes perfect sense. Thank you very much. So you recommend using IMDb Pro, so you can see my pictures and you can read my resume and all this stuff.
Yeah, and especially, and that's where Luca said, where it depends. If you're in a show that's going for it, if you're in a show that's getting international exposure, or if you're in a film or a short film, and people will see you, you want them when they go to IMDb Pro to check out who you are, that you'll come up.
Yeah,
Or
we
they
just won the Beverly Hills Short Film Festival, got first prize with a movie in Bulgarian, which
congratulations. And then you use that to get to the next level, in the same way as like, you speak really good English, so you make sure that, people like Kyle Otto, who's shooting in Bayan, and I know who you are. You just keep working onto people's radar. When you win an award like that, you take full advantage.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Okay, the next question maybe also answered before, but let's ask it again. Lucy, what is the best way to present yourself, send your materials as a new face to a casting director in Spain in order to get on their radars without being an annoying bug or a no name that doesn't really sparks interest?
It's kind of the same. It's very weird. We go over this over and over again, like Mia, you're on my radar because you sent me a message today saying you wanted to come to this, and I sent it back to you saying, write an email, and then you come, and then you said, and that's it. It's just about being a human being and being authentic. And it doesn't mean, it's so important that you guys know that, you decide with everybody what the different way is. So if it's because you want to go be on a show like Money Heist, they usually cast people who are living here, but then you work out who are the directors. Are you going to follow them? Who's the casting director? Remember, the no is always guaranteed. So you can send your email and your headshot out to everybody in the world. I'm going to write a book now, which is called Ways I've Cast Actors, Ways I've Met Actors. I have met actors in every single way. I've met actors because they've done a course with me. I've met actors because they were at the bus stop with my mother. I've met actors in casting. I have met actors because I was out really late at night and drunk and I saw somebody across the room. I have cast actors who I met when I was a teenager and then didn't see for 30 years and suddenly saw, oh, that's interesting. I've met actors because people have recommended them to me. I've met actors because their agents have recommended them to me. I've met actors because directors have wanted to work with them. I've met actors because they have dated, and like Luca Peros, who's the Croatian actor. I know him because he met his wife when she's my best friend. She went on holiday to Croatia and she came back with an actor. I was horrified. But that's how I met him, and I've cast him a lot. But I couldn't have cast him if he wasn't a good actor. I've met actors because I've seen them in short films. I've met actors because I've seen them in films. I meet actors every single day, and I'm always looking for actors. And then, but I don't give actors jobs just because, and I've met actors because they've come in for coffee, and I've met actors online. But like, I always use this as an example, is that I know a huge amount of Afghan actors because, and if 5 years ago, if you'd asked me, do I cast Afghan actors? I'd be like, no. And then I got one job for a Swiss company and I had to cast Afghan actors. And then suddenly, by complete coincidence, I got to do Guy Ritchie's film and I was in charge of the Afghan casting. And because I'd just done the Swiss one, when they said, can you cast Afghan actors? I was like, yes. Also, I always say yes. And then I got to do the Jennifer Lopez film, which also needed Afghan actors. So I'm now a world expert on Afghan actors who live in Europe. There's very few I don't know, but none of them had sent their CVs to me or had approached me. I went everywhere. I asked everybody, I looked everywhere, and it would be the same if I had to cast. It's the same what Nancy did when she had to cast the Eastern European for the Sacha Baron Cohen film for Welcome to America. It wasn't, she obviously teaches, she does workshops and everything, but she didn't take it like that. She went out to actively look. And that's why she's a great casting director, because or any casting director, we don't wait for people to come to us. We go and look for them. And
Yeah,
that-
I just wanted to say that's the job of a casting director, to look for actors and search all those tricky situations and tricky demands that we have from the script and from the director and the producer and all of that. I would like just to quickly add to all these questions, the questions from Katarina that ask, where can we maybe exactly find the projects who are in prep production and not only already in production? So, you know, sometimes we drop that email through knowing on IMDb what's shooting, but then we are already late. So do you have any specific advice regarding that?
It's the same, going back, we have to be able to find you. So it's not that we don't advertise for jobs because it's not a job. It's you're offering a creative service. But it's what you would do. My advice for you, Katarina, is look at the European funding. Like that's kind of one of the things that we do on the European thing. The first thing to do is see which directors have won the local film awards for the short films. Because any director who's winning the best short, producers will looking at them, and they are quite likely to go on to have a feature film in the next couple of years. So like I'm always keeping an eye on who the young directors are, or they're not even young. Who are the directors who are winning the best short at the Bulgarian National Awards, the Croatian National, Serbian Awards, because they're the people most likely to get financing. Then I also look at Euroimage. I look at all the European co-production fundings and I see which producers are getting them. I also look at the TV to see what's being financed, what's being brought up. And then I just do this is when I'm trying to work out who I'm going to work for. And it's the same for you, because remember, we get paid by the same people as you. So another thing I do every year in Cannes, there's something called European Producers on the Move. And I always look, and there's always Balkan producers, and I always follow them on Instagram, because I think they're the kind of people who will look for casting directors. And I don't even say hello. I might say hello to the Spanish one, or I might go to the party, but I just want them, even if I don't say anything, I'm just going to be on their radar, because my name will suddenly ring a bell. Like everybody in the world thinks that they know me, even when they don't. But when somebody says, oh, have you heard of Lucy Lennox? People say, oh, yes. And it's because I'm always very actively getting my name out there by following and supporting people. I also celebrate their work, which is what when I see a young director is doing well, I might say, everybody check out this film. It was really good. And I just repost it. I will send them a message sometimes, like people like Alex Lora, who's a very good Spanish director. His short film won at Sundance this year, and it's with actors that I know. And I didn't cast it, but I was very happy for them. So I'd send him a message saying, hey, Alex, congratulations. And I congratulate the actors who I'm proud of. So I behave like I'm a professional. No, I am a professional, but I congratulate other professionals. And that's what I suggest that you do, because, you just go around acting. If you act, and you all should be able to act better than me, behave like professionals in the industry, then the industry will make a place for you. Whereas if you behave like you want to get into it, it's much more difficult. So that's like talking about the industry. It's about knowing who wins the awards. It's about knowing who's producing stuff. Duarte can definitely help with that, because that's what they're doing. And then you'll learn, then people will tell you, like I'm always hearing information about it. But even it doesn't mean I can do anything about it, but it just means that I feel more powerful because I'm in the know. So I'm like, oh, so-and-so, they're going to get their film financed and it'll be great. And then they may or may not call me. But if I see them and I go, hey, congratulations, or, I celebrate the people that I would never celebrate American films on my social media, for example, because they're never going to give me the job in the way that a European would. So it's about having a strategy, I think.
Great. Boris, do you want to ask the last question? Are you sure after all that has been mentioned?
Yeah, it's actually there are two questions, but I'll just try to make them short. The first one is for you guys in Croatia. I saw that you mentioned that there are like agencies in Croatia. So would it be okay for me to approach them, considering that I'm like Sofia, Bulgaria based? I mean, I did approach already like one agency in Serbia and two in Hungary, but without success. So how are the Croatian agencies? Would they consider someone who's not, Croatia based? And the second question very quickly about like someone mentioned about the IMDb. I just didn't get it. Like where do you or how do you search for projects in pre-production? Because I personally couldn't get like really good awareness how that's I don't know, search engine on IMDb works to get what's in production, in pre-production, just to, check
Okay.
out what's going on there.
I will answer the first question. So in Croatia, we don't have acting agencies. We have in
Alright.
the region. So there is few in Bosnia and Herzegovina, few in Serbia, and to be honest, I don't know the rest of the countries from the Balkan market. But I'm sure that both Bosnian and Serbian agencies are working in the whole region. So for sure they are willing to include you as a Bulgarian actor in their portfolio. So feel free to contact them, to search who they are, and to approach them quite easily and like through email, like very, very normal approach. And
Alright.
the second question about the pre-production, I mean, I'm not sure about how to search the pre-production.
IMDb Pro.
Yeah.
Sorry, what did I say?
I do have it, but I don't know how to use it.
I can help. So, I mean, the way how I search for pre-production is basically I have a list of my own casting directors that I'm aiming for, and directors as well. You you type on their name, it's going to take you to their page, and then you go to upcoming work, and then you're going to have the work in the sections pre-production, in development, post-production, and then you click on pre-production. But what you need to know about IMDb and when actually posting on IMDb is that not necessarily just because something is in pre-production that it still is in pre-production. I had moments when I reached out because I thought the film was in pre-production, and then the casting office responded to my email, said, "Oh, we finished casting half a year ago. We are just doing the IMDb page now, and we are planning this as a strategic plan for the PR for the film." But yeah, just go with, casting directors, producers, and then search their websites on the IMDb and then see, because they're going to have. Or you can go with writers, because then writers are associated with producers, and just try a lot in that way.
Yeah, but you see, yeah. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to ask Petra, did you wanted to add something on the IMDb Pro? We can hear you.
Unless they changed something, you definitely have to have IMDb Pro to be able to look for what Luka just said. I don't think that they changed that, so you definitely have to have a Pro version.
Yeah, IMDb Pro.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So one of the question was for Luka Alagic, but we will leave that to connect Bojdar with Luka on Instagram and to ask that question regarding the shooting dates of your new project coming up. I would like just to quickly ask all of the guests closing sentence and to thank you all for being present here and participating on this panel. I would like to remind you about the special offer that we specially built for the Balkan market, and thanks to the Actors Home, we managed to do like a 2-in-1 promo. So the Actors Home gave 50% discount, and the Duart platform gave 50% of the discount, and the offer is valid 1 month. So please hurry up and connect with each other and stay present and connected. So I would like to wrap up with our guest and last at the end, Lucy.
Okay, I just wanted to say to Mia's question that was saying about the Eastern European actresses, it's going back to what we're talking about, is celebrating your own power, making your own stories and making sure that you're playing them. And of course it's possible but you know, Luca and Darko, who've just been in Money Heist, were not playing, they were playing gangsters, but everybody's a gangster in it. But we also have, you know, all kinds of, the stories are becoming more and more diverse, but you have to show up and be those people as well. And there's, you know, politician stories, there's all kinds of different stories. And in the big films, there will be new stories and more modern stories, because we are all moving around and being diverse and doing different things. But it's also telling your own stories is very important to get away from those stereotypes, and going to see European and Balkan work. Like, so often, if you're going to the cinema, choose a film that will possibly give you employment in the future. Like, if it's a choice between seeing something from the Balkans and seeing Barbie, go and see something from the Balkans. And if you can't go and see something, go put your money where your mouth is. Because so often I see actors complaining, like in other countries, I'm not talking about the Balkans here, about, oh, there's not enough work for Spain. There's, oh, you know, everybody's only the international projects. And I'm like, what are the last 5 films you went to see? And they're like, oh, I went to see Barbie. I went to see Oppenheimer. I went to see James Bond, or whatever it is. These are not the films that are providing our industry with a future. Like, show up for your own industry, act like you're part of the industry and show up for your own industry, and then it will show up for you. But you can't support the American industry and then expect your own industry to support you, I think. Anyway, so that would be my main thing. And the other thing that what Sanya said, like, I love being in touch with all of you. I love my connections that I have with Dominic, with Giovanna, with Petra, with Sanya, and together we're building things. And then with the people who are in the Actors Home, like Florina, who's here, and Daniela, and Boris, and Yassine, and Luba, and who else is here? And Bea, and Laurent, and Sanya, and Thomas, who has done an amazing musical from Croatia, which I still haven't watched, but I'm dying to watch. And it's just celebrate your work, connect with each other, look at ways to work together, look at ways to connect with young filmmakers or older filmmakers. Be aware when you can help. Like, the biggest secret I can give from networking is don't think about what it can do for you, think about what you can do for somebody else. And when you do that, like Giovanna's a really good example of that. She's always thinking about what she can do for other people and never what they can do for her. And then everybody wants to do things for her, you know. And
Thank
it's
you,
the
Lucy.
truth,
Yeah.
but it's the truth. I know that, and Pet and Sanya's the same. Sanya's like, oh, maybe I can help you with this, or maybe I can help you with that. Dominic is the same. You know, the more that you want to do things for other people, the more likely it is that the universe will do things for you. And it's that kind of mindset that makes you a good networker. Because people don't like networking because they think it's asking for stuff. But if you start thinking about it as offering stuff, and then when you work forward with that, then you think, oh, like when, you know, Luca said he went back to Croatia thinking about, oh, I'm going to take the knowledge that I've learned and bring it back. That's powerful. And when you feel powerful, you can do anything. And that's it. So have fun, you know, and enjoy, and just enjoy the journey. Because this is like, the world's a really weird, fucked up place, excuse my language. So what we have left is other people and enjoying the journey as much as possible, even though it can be challenging.
Wonderful. One last sentence from all the guests, and we are closing this panel because I feel that we could like last for 8 more hours.
Lucy already said everything, so I will just say also criticize less and keep yourself busy more, like, because it's always I know my friends and they're always focusing to criticize how it's not working, what's the problem. So just keep yourself busy and always research something, always chase for some new opportunities and create something new. That's it. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, Sanya. I love you.
Same. I would say the same. Don't forget to enjoy the whole thing, because I think it has to be reiterated more and more times, just so we don't forget. Because obviously, you know, everybody wants to improve, everyone wants to have more jobs, but yeah, remember why we're doing this, and we're all kids who want to enjoy the art. So let's enjoy it.
I also want to thank everybody. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, Sanya. Thank to all the guests, to all of you who they took the time to listen to us today. And that's it. Be creative, have fun, and connect with other people who also want to be creative. And that's it. Just make your story be heard.
Thank you, everyone, as well. And my last sentence would be bold, be brave, believe in yourself even when it's the hardest. Yeah, trust yourself, trust your instincts, and surround yourself with people that support you and that you want to work with, and create your own work. That's all.
Thank you all. My heart is full. Thank you all. Thank you, Lucy, for being us today. But thank you all for being here. I was super inspired and hope to connect with each one of you through social media, through email. Drop a message, drop an email, whatever you want. I'm open to a newsletter, as Lucy said, and also connect with the Actors Home and connect with Duarte. Thank you all, and see you soon. Ciao.
Bye.
Pozdrav, bye-bye.
So,
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
thank you. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.